Come on. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. This is Texas Biker Radio number 454. My name is Mel Popeye Moss.
OG.
Geezer.
And we do have Geezer in the house tonight. And, man, what should we talk about first?
Hell, there's so much to talk about, I don't know what to talk about.
Have you got something you want to say, sir?
Yeah, we could leave it for the end, but they say the polar ice caps are going to rise, they're going to melt, and the water level's going to rise 20, 30 feet within the next 100 to 200 years.
Well, I don't believe we got much to worry about there.
And that's going to kill us all.
Yeah.
Or most of us.
They're on that again, huh?
Yeah. So, I guess save your eyes or something. Throw it in the water.
Global warming. Well, first it was global cooling. Then it was global warming. So, they can't make up their mind. And so, they pick something 100 years out to bitch about.
Well, the good news is the ozone hole is healing itself.
Yeah.
The bad news is global warming is the cause of it.
Yeah. Well, go figure, everybody.
Well, they did a study. Dinosaur farts caused more methane gas than what our modern appliances are causing now. So.
Yeah, it's, well, now, does it cause more methane than the cows do?
No, that's about an even
About
split.
an even deal?
Yeah.
I know we're getting silly, everybody, but that's the way things are nowadays, is everything is silly.
Well, hey, wait. They're going to rename the Payday candy bar.
Payday candy bar.
Yes, it is offensive to people who don't work. Now, I shit you not. They were talking about that today. That's how stupid this cancel culture has gone.
It is crazy, crazy, crazy. And I got something I got to bring up here for a minute because I didn't print it out.
Nope. Better talk
So I've
about
gotta
it
find
before
it.
you forget it.
Yeah, I got to find it. So, anyway, let's talk about brotherhood for a minute and motorcycle clubs. Because you guys, I've had calls and messages today from people I don't even know that are wishing me well for my surgery tomorrow. And for those of you that don't know, I'm having a what do you call that, OG?
Stent.
A stent put in. I know what that is because I've already got some, but in different places. But I had a minor stroke here about a month ago, or really maybe more than that. We were looking at the dates a while ago because I do have one child that wants so bad for the China virus to be, because of that, the vaccine. But I actually had this stroke happen long before I took that China virus vaccine. And so I don't know. But I don't know that I need to hear any of that right now at this stage, because I have to have it done or there will be another stroke at some point. So, but I want to thank everybody that has called me. I want to thank everybody that has emailed me and wished me well. And that includes my brothers in my motorcycle club. That there's nothing like it, everybody. There's nothing like it of being in that kind of brotherhood. And I can't thank you enough, because the brothers in my motorcycle club are closer to me than my real brother. And that's the truth of it. Maybe not my little sister, but my little brother, that's for sure. But hey, thank you. And gee, let me say something to everybody, and something I did not realize. They did a test on me today that was checking to see if my Plavix was working, was actually doing the job, because I've been taking that for 20 years since my heart attack. For 20 years. And I never knew there was a test for that. And evidently these heart doctors do not talk to the vascular doctors. So I never knew there was that kind of test. And I would encourage you, if you do have heart problems, or if you do take Plavix or any of these blood thinning drugs, make sure they're working. And the other thing I didn't know, OG, over these many years, is that if you've had radiation, like I've had on one side of my neck, where they radiated the hell out of me, that it can destroy that vessel. And it can deteriorate. And so when you go to get, if you do get a clogged artery, if you've had a radiation. Yeah. If you have radiation, it does affect your ability for them to do anything with it.
Kind of like being microwaved.
Yes, it is. They burned the hell out of me, everybody. Yeah. But I'm still here after that very, very dangerous cancer I had. Most people don't live through it. And that was back in 2007. Well, what I'm saying to you is if you have these things, really check and make sure these medicines you've been taking for many years are still working. It's an incredible thing. Our medicine nowadays, it's incredible. The stuff they can do for you in keeping you alive and keeping you happy and keeping you able to do the things you love. And that's the truth of it. We're living way longer than our parents did, or most of them did. And so everybody hang in there. No matter what your situation is, whether you've got the COVID, whether you've got, you've taken one of these vaccines and everybody's raising hell about it and everybody's carrying on about it. And now I understand today that have you heard this? That they're going to be shutting down the
It's Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson. What's going on with that? I haven't heard.
They've had thus far, I think, 6 to 7 million vaccinations utilizing Johnson and Johnson. They have had 6 or 7 cases, rare cases of blood clotting. Now, 6 or 7 out of 7 million is infinitesimal. However, they've hit the panic button. Dr. Fauci is running around like a chicken with his head chopped off. They have halted all dispensing of Johnson & Johnson. And from what I understand, there are several million doses that have been shipped outside the country.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they're headed for Iran. Wouldn't that be?
6 to 7 cases.
Million. Oh, yeah.
Cases.
6 to 7 cases. So they say it's a rare form of blood clotting.
And I don't know if it's all of them or most of them are women 18 to 51.
Yeah, it's mostly women. One woman has died. I'd be interested in hearing the statistics on how many oddball things happen to people that get the influenza shot each year.
Right.
How many people die or end up with some form of malady.
Right.
You take any vaccination, there's a certain percentage of reaction.
Yeah.
Now, somebody has to be that 1%.
Yeah. I promise you guys, if something happens to me tomorrow, it's not because of the freaking COVID virus. It's these people are insane. And we have a lot of people out there that are working to destroy the vaccine process, including the who puts out so much bad information about the mask and everything else. It is, in my opinion, everybody, it is in my opinion that we ought to throw away the mask and head for herd immunity. That's what I think we ought to do. Throw the damn mask away, throw everything away, and head for herd immunity.
Well,
period. Whether it's through the vaccine or through the regular getting the COVID itself.
According to everything I've heard and read, the current masks that you all are wearing are useless anyway.
Yeah.
And the handkerchiefs that are being used as makeshift masks at this point are even worse than useless. You may as well have Swiss cheese over your face.
Let me tell everybody that when you go into the hospital, they are all in, man. They're all in. They think that mask is the fixed all for the COVID virus.
Absolutely.
They will tell you. Listen to this. I had a doctor tell me today, as they were checking me in, that no matter what you do, you're going to get the China virus. Period. You're going to get it. Even if you get the vaccine, even if you've had it, it don't matter what you do, you're going to get it again and again and again. And he is totally serious.
Does he wear a mask?
And I said, well, what's the use in everything we're doing then?
What did he say?
He said, you're going to get it. I said, I've already had it. He said, yeah, you're going to get it again because there's a different strain. It's a madhouse, everybody. It's a freaking madhouse.
Well, viruses do mutate.
Yeah, they do.
That's what a virus is.
Yeah. And from what I understand, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different strains of the same virus.
But they keep, in order to keep us in line, they keep talking about the deadly mutation that's lurking out there.
But you know, if you're the member of a motorcycle club, hey, you don't give a damn about that stuff. It's a brotherhood, everybody. We don't care about those masks.
More worried about the soccer mom on her
Yeah,
phone
yeah,
driving next to us.
that's true. That's true. And I got to look at something here real quick. You two talk.
Well, the defund the police is back on the rise, thanks to two recent incidents, one in Virginia and one in Minnesota. You know, they keep talking about defunding the police, doing away with the police. The problem is, it would be total anarchy. Now, for you bad guys out there, be careful what you wish for. Because if the police go away, it could be open season on the bad guys. Because the citizens will arm themselves and will become itchy trigger fingers.
Yeah.
I've already thought about it. You know, if this crap keeps going and going, and the police start evaporating, and they start invading the neighborhoods, no question about it. You know, be ready. But the issue here is, you know, and my wife and I were talking about it. We've met plenty of police officers, especially on the rare occasion we go to church. And you know, the most churches today have police officers on duty, and most of them seem pretty nice. I mean, you know, you go up and talk to them; they seem like nice guys. I've talked to a few of them a couple times about stuff that's been going on, and they, you know, one of the comments of the Arlington law enforcement guys is that they're sure glad they're in Texas. So, but yeah, a lot of the problem is where are all the good guys? It seems like most of the law enforcement officers that are out there roaming around are just screw-ups.
Hey.
I mean, you know, I first of all, I would attribute what happened in Minnesota to piss poor training.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just that evident. What happened in Virginia was piss poor recruiting and assessing who the hell they hired.
They shouldn't be mall cops.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay. We are now, actually, we're 3 minutes and 45 seconds
I know.
overdue.
I heard from one of them.
I know. You were poking me in the ribs, and I was wondering what the hell was wrong with you. But I got carried away on my law enforcement thing.
Oh, we're not finished with that.
Okay, we'll come back to it. But we have marching orders for some of the troops out there. And let me say this. I've been studying a lot of anatomy lately. Okay.
That's a good one, too. For our friends across the country.
That's right. They know what to do with that one.
All right, let's get back to the cops for a minute, because they, and you know, we've talked about this for years, that they are their own worst enemies.
They can't help themselves.
The training, the people they're hiring, the bullies, the people that shouldn't be mall cops. who can't help themselves, they will do this, to do the actions we've seen again and again and again. They cannot help themselves. In a way, the complaints that are out there are right. You can't deny it. But it's not everybody. It's not everybody. It's just like we talk about when the law enforcement talks about bikers. When they talk about us, they paint everybody with the same brush.
They don't like it when we paint them all with the same brush on this
They
crap.
surely don't like that when we do that to them.
Yep.
But the fact is, it is the truth. It is the truth. These police departments and these sheriff's departments, and I would say all the way up to the FBI, these people have to be rooted out. Rooted out. And I would say prosecutors, let's throw them in there. They need to be rooted out. Rooted out. Bad prosecutors. Even if they're not prosecuting people that are out there bitching about the police. They're no better. They're no better. They need to be rooted out. Rooted out.
Don't forget the judges.
And the judges, yes. They need to be rooted out.
They all need to do what they tell us what to do.
Yes, exactly right.
They need to get rid of the bad apples.
And Charles Barkley was right. There's good people and there's bad people. There's good white people, there's good black people, there's good people in every ethnic group. Every law enforcement, every motorcycle club, you name it. There's good and bad people. But we have to root them out. There's good corporations and there's bad corporations, just like we're seeing right now. Right now. They need to be rooted out. There's good sports franchises and there's bad ones, and let me tell you, they're making themselves known by the things they're doing and the things they're saying and the things they're supporting. We need to root them out. And that takes all of us, of pointing them out and saying, here they are. We got to do something about it. We got to save our country. We got to save our economy. We got to save our Constitution. That's what we have to do, and we have to do it together, and we have to do it as a unit.
Well, and to add something here, and what I'm going to say is going to be a little bit like preaching to the choir, because I'd say over 99% of the bikers out there know exactly how to react and act around law enforcement if they get stopped.
Yes, they do.
Because we get stopped a lot.
Yeah.
And so we know the drill. But if you'll look at most of these incidents that have occurred where there have been deaths or injury, with the exception, of course, of this situation in Virginia, but what happened in Minneapolis? The guy started to resist.
Yeah.
And the problem is, if you haven't figured it out by now, you're dealing with some real morons out there when it comes to some law enforcement officers. You're dealing with some people out there that have some real Napoleonic attitudes. And, they're just itching to use a gun. They're itching to boss you around. Give them the excuse and they'll do it. You got to think about this. You got to think, hey, if you get stopped, you better be damn careful, because you don't know anymore if you're going to walk away from that stop alive.
You know, the best thing you can do is obey the best you can and video it. Video it. Show them what jerks they are, or what jerks they can be, because they will surely expose themselves. They will do it. We've seen them too many times, and what we saw with that black soldier who was stopped by that law officer in Virginia, they're going to be paying big bucks to that young man for the way he was treated. And you know what? He was just in what he was doing because of the attitude of that police officer right off the bat, everybody. Right off the bat. Over some trivial traffic stop.
That's right.
They couldn't see a temporary tag. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Temporary tag. Unbelievable, everybody. Uncalled for. No matter what color you are. And because he's a brave young serviceman, and let me tell you, that police department should have to pay a heavy fee, a heavy fine for that kind of behavior.
The police department, the city, and that officer. I think officers should be held personally liable for their actions. Now, for years and decades now, they have not been held personally liable. I guess the basic feeling was because of the job and the inherent dangers they deal with, they shouldn't have to be dealing with things personally. However, I think they have proven to us beyond a shadow of a doubt that unless they are held personally accountable, and again, it's another weak link in our society. It's one of those deals like everyone gets a trophy. Don't hurt anyone's feelings. Nobody's responsible for shit. They need to be held accountable. Trust me, if they know they're going to be held accountable for their actions and they may have to pay personally, they may start thinking about what in the hell they're doing out there.
Yeah. It's the law enforcement, and they know the truth of it. They know who the bad actors are within their units. They know, and why they let it continue is beyond me.
Oh, they've got some lousy attitudes. I'll tell you. I heard a term once when I lived in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Officers were saying, well, we're in the business where the customer's always wrong.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell are they thinking about? And, that just tells you right there exactly what their attitude is. You know
what they're doing, and you hear it all the time. When the police departments come on and they start talking about, a police officer's wounded, a police officer was killed, this, that, and the other about it. To me, they're making a special class citizen. I mean, anybody that is killed by an outlaw, whether he be a real outlaw or whether he be a police department outlaw, anybody that is out there murdering people should pay a price. But let me say this, when a police officer does die, and you have 15 other human beings out there that were killed by somebody and nobody gives a damn, but we're going to make a special class citizen because they're a police officer. Anybody dies at the hands of someone else whether they're a domestic terrorist, whether they're a real terrorist, whether they're whoever. No, nobody gets special treatment. It's sad that anybody dies, if you see what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. I mean, I can remember when they first talking about, well, we need to pass a law that it's an automatic death sentence or death penalty if you kill a cop.
That's right.
And I'm thinking, well, what the hell? If somebody killed my son, daughter, wife, or me, you telling me that cop's life is more valuable than mine?
Exactly.
Or one of my relatives? You want the death penalty? Death penalty should be for all.
Exactly.
And hey, I'm certainly not anti-death penalty. I think they ought to bring back public hangings where you all take your family with a picnic lunch and watch them hang the son of a bitch so your children and everyone else learn there are consequences. And that's the problem with our society today.
Yep.
Nobody understands consequences. You do something, it's like physics. The law of physics. There's a reaction for every action.
Right.
And it's good or bad.
That's right.
And they are, society's gotten away from that. They immediately, I saw the departure when they started giving trophies to everybody.
Yeah.
There were no losers.
Yeah.
Or they'd get pissed off.
Still goes on, by the way.
Yeah. Or they'd get pissed off at a team because they thought they were piling on points.
Yeah.
Well, the other team should have played better. What the hell? If you're out there in a trench shooting at somebody and the son of a bitch is a better shot than you are, guess what? You're going to die.
Exactly.
Okay? You better be good at what you do, and you better understand there are consequences for bad things that you do, and there are consequences for good things that you do. It could be good or bad.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You can have it. Yeah. You can, let me see. I read right something down here. Like we talked about, police are their own enemies, but there's evil everywhere. The feds are evil, and then you go, well, who's next? Who's next? Big government, big corporations, big sports franchises, the Supreme Court, federal, state, local prosecutors, and finally, the dishonest protesters out there trying to make a buck.
Yep.
There's good and bad everywhere that we look everywhere. And we see, and we especially see it nowadays. We've got to point this out and fix it, everybody. Because all those organizations I was just mentioning are sick as hell, have people within those organizations that are evil. Evil.
Forrest just brought up a point. You and I were talking about this the other night at dinner. That we haven't heard crap about that Air Force vet, that female on January 6th, that got shot and killed crawling through a window. Did she pose an imminent threat? Did she have a gun in her hand?
Yeah.
Did she have anything in her hand other than trying to get through the damn window? Hell no. But there has never been a peep about who the hell shot her. There's no investigation, but we certainly hear all about the Capitol cops that got killed or injured.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And you guys know the potato head, he's busy lying his ass off. He's busy lying about the deals that have been made over the immigrants that are coming up from South America. They're saying, well, what? That deal, that's the first we've heard about that.
Anytime you mention the potato head now, the first thing that comes to mind is possibly the most stupid thing I have ever heard in my life. And that is when that frickin' idiot stood there on television making his little announcement about his executive order on gun control and making the statement that no constitutional amendment is absolute. It left me frickin' speechless. If the guy had been standing in front of me, I guarantee you I'd have grabbed him around the throat. I mean, what the hell? Why do we pay income tax?
Exactly.
I guess that isn't absolute.
Yeah,
Nothing is absolute anymore.
Dump that one there, potato head. You moron. But now he says he's getting us out of Afghanistan like it's his freaking idea.
Oh, shit.
You hear that one today?
No.
Oh, yeah. He's getting us out of Afghanistan
Trump
as
made
if it
that
was his idea.
Trump made that announcement months before he left office. He'd already negotiated that.
The truth is not in the potato head. It's just not. If his mouth is moving, he is lying. And so is everybody around him.
What gets me is he stands there, and have you ever noticed he has these beady little vacant eyes? There's no soul in there.
No.
Nothing.
That's true.
It's like he's some kind of a wooden marionette that someone else is operating. He's got no brain, no soul. He is just doing what the hell he's directed to do, and he can't even do that intelligently.
No.
He can't. He's got no talent for making you think that it's him.
The media now is also starting to question who's in charge.
I've noticed that. It looks like Fox News is coming back around to the right side.
Yeah.
They've made a few. Even let's see, that gal that's on in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Martha. I can't remember her name now. She's got these cool blue eyes.
Yeah.
They're like liquid pools. Anyway, she made some disparaging remark about Democrats.
So there's things starting to go on, and especially right now with the with Major League Baseball, and they're what is it? The Major League Baseball and their
the All-Star game.
Yeah, the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But some of you guys there help us out on this. Damn.
Oh, I know. I can't think of it either. I know what you're talking about.
Y'all are going to end up in the hospital laying next to me. Anyway, with they get special privileges for damn. You guys, you know what we're talking about, right? Somebody will come up with it.
It's a government thing. It's
the Supreme Court did it.
Yeah.
They gave them the ability, privileges that other franchises don't have, and it has to do with man. You guys, I'm gonna have to look that up.
Okay, well you're doing
Go
that.
ahead.
Here's another little goodie that our cancel culture has come up with. There's a book that has been, famous. I heard about it when I was a kid, called Catcher in the Rye. Everyone talks about that book, or you'll hear the name sooner or later in your lifetime. Well, they're campaigning now to take that off the shelves. They want the book banned because it has the N-word in it. Now, in case you're wondering, the N-word is nigger. Now, That word is used time and time again in rap. It's I think, a term of endearment for some of the brothers. It's something that a white guy should never use because it's not our privilege. We've got names of our own that we call each other. But because that book has that word in it, they want it banned. Now, here we go again with the ugly censorship head coming up where, they're going to start censoring. It'll be Catcher on the Rye. They've been after Dr. Seuss, Pinocchio. Who else are they going to go after? They're not going after any of the other ones. It doesn't seem like it's it's any kind of a fair shake. And if they ban Catcher on the Rye, they should ban 99% of all the rap songs that are out there.
There you go. And hey, you guys, I've just looked up what it was. It was antitrust laws. Antitrust laws.
Okay.
The Major League Baseball is the only one that is exempt from antitrust laws because of the Supreme Court. It was never a law that was created by our lawmakers. But now, this is how you get back at them. You contact your legislator, your congressman, your senator, and let them know Major League Baseballs should not have any special privileges where they own it all. And you know what? There's other corporations that should not have special privileges where they own it all. Facebook, Twitter, where they dominate other businesses, where they kill small businesses, as we've seen them do. Major League Baseball has no business in politics. None. They have no business teaming up with other businesses to dominate against a city, a state, a country. No business. No business colluding with each other, major corporations, in order to steer this country in a certain direction. None. And you can listen to what they had to say about it today. They can say it a lot better than I can. And they can remember what I'm talking about here. There should not be these kind of dominations by these corporations to the extent where they can dominate politics in cities, states, countries. We can't have it. This should not happen. And this should not happen that they help out a political party. Period. Period. That's the job of the people, not these corporations. And we should spank the hell out of all of them. All of them. All of them that have gone woke. All 297 of them. They should have their asses whipped by everybody. Duncan, you want to add to that?
Well, I think the NFL's probably just as bad.
They're just as bad, but they do not have the protection that Major League Baseball does.
But they are tax exempt. Okay?
We got things we need to straighten out. That's what we're talking about here.
Now,
there's no reason those rich bastards should be tax exempt. None. Zero. Period. There's no reason we should be building their stadiums. No reason. They're hoodwinking everybody. You know, if you want a team in your city, go out and start one. Go start one. There's no reason we should have so few teams dominating everything. Period. And if they can, they'll try and kill challengers. They will. Just as what's happened during the China virus, as major corporations have made deals while the little guy just gets the hell screwed out of him, loses his business, loses his sanity, because they keep creating these things over and over and over again. And really the truth is, we don't know the truth about it. We don't.
We live in a city where they've done it twice. First the football team, and just recently the baseball team.
Yeah.
A stadium less than 20 years old, they replaced.
Yeah.
And then they're crying because they couldn't play last year, so they want to raise taxes on it.
Yeah. Hey, tough. Shut it down.
And our voters in this wonderful city voted for it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Damn, I can tell you're getting mad.
I voted no on all of them.
I typically vote no for any amendment they put on the poll asking for more money.
Yeah.
For higher taxes, you know, they always try to justify, well, it's for the good of this or the good of that.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Cut half the staff in government, and that's where a lot of the money's going to come back to the public.
Yeah. Well, you know, now we've got some Democrats joining Republicans and pushing back against this infrastructure bill. They're saying it needs a name change because none of it has anything to do with infrastructure.
Oh, it's less than 10% of the money in that bill is for actual infrastructure.
Less than 6.
Well, I said less than 10. I was safe.
Okay, but everybody's beginning to catch on to it, and I guess there's enough people that are bitching to their congressmen, even Democrats, that this is bullshit. That this money is going to go out there and it's going to go around and around and around and back into their pockets.
Now, do they just want to change the name, or do they want to change any of the bill?
Well, they were being facetious and saying, hey, we need to change the name. The thing about it is, though, he's now getting opposition out of his own party, and said now he's saying he's willing to negotiate. The potato head. He's willing to negotiate.
They need to throw it the hell out.
Yeah, they need to take it out there and make a real infrastructure bill that is does not have all the BS in it. That actually does something for the people rather than for their own pockets. Because let me tell you, the way that this money comes back into their pockets is corporations after corporations after corporations after corporations that are designed to launder the money. It makes it hard to follow where the money went. And we need to wake up to it, everybody. You need to go out there and shake the crap out of your family and say, hey, here's what's happening. Don't be a dummy and vote for this stuff. That's the truth of it. And I've been singing this message for 20 years. 20 years since I first saw the way our government operates locally and the way our unions operated. Let me tell you, as a 25-year union member, I know how crooked they can be. There's very few of them that are honest, that are doing a good job for their union members. Just saying, everybody. I've seen it.
How do you change it, though?
Huh?
How do you change it? I've gone to school with people that were they were right in line with where I stood, and now they've gone way off the rails.
The thing about it is, what you have to do is while you're working, busy making a living, you got to pay some attention to what's going on in your government. And really, that's it. And what's going on within your union. And you don't let the thugs dominate it. That's the truth. You got to vote them out. You got to vote them out. You got to find some honesty within your union, within your government, wherever. And we've got to root them out by not electing them year after year, decade after decade, the same people over and over and over, where they collude with each other, where they get away with all this stuff.
People will keep voting for him because they'll say, "Oh, they did good."
Oh,
for
he's
us.
a good guy. He's a good guy.
So
he screwed the hell out of us, but he's a good guy.
We need term limits so that people can't continue to vote.
Now they are not going to do it themselves.
They're not going to.
They're not going to do it. So it has to be us. We have to first of all start finding people that will do what they say. If they can't campaign on term limits, by God, they better do just that. That's what I'm saying. Got anything you want to wrap up with?
Yeah. Part of the problem, and Geezer mentioned part of it, is these people that you went to school with that are of one thought pattern at one point in their life, and now they're all out socialists. And I would say probably a great extent of them are not hardworking, tax-paying citizens.
That's true.
I would say what has happened here is a lot of people have gone the way of welfare. They're looking for that next COVID check.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking for anything they can get out of the public trough because that's the pattern that they're learning. And I'll cite you a real quick example. My son, who used to be a police officer, and I say used to because he saw what's going on now, and he had over 5 years in the department and was about to take his sergeant's test, and he said, "That's it. I don't want any more of this."
Yeah.
But I can remember at one point, I couldn't believe, he is just as conservative as I am. But because he was in the police department and because their retirement fund was funded by the city, and at that time there were a lot of cities going bankrupt, everyone was worried about the preservation of that fund should the city go broke. Well, here comes the liberal idiot governor of the state of Minnesota up for election, campaigning on the platform that he is going to guarantee with state funds all public employee retirement funds. Now, this guy is also advocating higher taxes, all of the outrageous crap that you hear the progressives talking about. And he told me, he said, "I'm going to vote for him." I said, "What the hell are you talking about?" He said, "Dad," he said, "it's the only way I'm sure I'm going to get my retirement." So, a lot of it, I think, gets into a lot of selfish acts, too, on the part of people.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're more worried about themselves and their financial well-being than they are about what in the hell is right and what built this country. So, to answer Geezer, the only thing we can do is to keep fighting the fight that we're fighting. And remember, it was the 3% that won the frickin' revolution, not the population in general.
Exactly.
So we have to keep up the 3%. and keep fighting hard.
So we're not going to do it by just voting.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. You'd be surprised how many of these pigs at the trough are lazy when it comes to election time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You know, you guys, I want to say this. There is some danger to the surgery I'm going through tomorrow. And for some reason, I'm not here. I've got two brothers right here that are going to carry the mantle. Texas Bracker Radio will go nowhere. Sons of Liberty Riders MC will go nowhere. It's in good hands. It's in good hands. And we'll fight the fight to defend the Constitution and those who've had their constitutional rights violated. And let me tell you, that's happening many times across this country, again and again and again and again. Look around. They're not hard to find. People that are in trouble because of a crooked law enforcement, a crooked government, who will go after you with every means they have. Every means they have. Even though you may have committed no crime ever. It happens every day across this country. Every day. Geezer, you got anything you want to close with?
Popeye's not going anywhere.
We'll see to it.
Yeah. With that, everybody.
Well, hang on.
Wait. Okay.
The last word to our crew on standby out there. I've been studying a lot of anatomy lately. With that, be safe.
Ride safe, everybody. If you don't have a motorcycle,
Get one.
buy one. Come ride with us. We need more chapters across this country. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Share, share, share. Go ahead.